very much for having me. I work for the California Dental Association, better known as CDA for short. I am in the foundation department, which is the charitable arm of the foundation. Before I start, I just wanted to thank Kat from the local San Mateo Dental Society office that she came to help sell raffle tickets for me. We're selling raffle tickets for a $1,000 gift card and a $500 gift card. So you can buy tickets for $20 each, 3 for $50, or 6 for $100. But it is my fault we don't have the tickets here, so she's doing a sign-up list, and I will contact you on Monday if you'd like to purchase any tickets. It's pretty good odds. We have not sold a lot of them, so it's pretty good odds that you could win one of 2 gift cards, a $1,000 one or a $500 one, if you'd like to purchase raffle tickets. The other flyer on the tables and over here is volunteers. It's for community volunteers and what we need. So the CDA Foundation is coming to San Mateo. We're bringing CDA Cares on April 22nd and 23rd. We also will be setting up, and we need some community volunteers to help us on the Friday before. This is a Saturday, Sunday, and that's Friday, April the 21st. Our website is pretty simple, cdacares.com, if you want to go and sign up there, and it'll give you a list of community volunteers or different positions. It's divided up to dentist, dental assistant. There's still a lot of holes in our event coming up, so we do a lot of, depend a lot on the community volunteers. So the next slide is oral health in California. More than 30% of Californians experience barriers to health care, health and dental care. And more than 500,000 students miss class due to dental pain and other issues. Dental pain can detract from a student's ability to learn, so it has a lasting effect in our community. Employment options for people with chronic dental pain or missing teeth are very few. You can't really even get a job at McDonald's, a fast food job, without at least a few front teeth. So it's a very worthwhile event, and usually people go away when they've been there, and even when you see the video at the end here, it really touches people and really helps them. So tooth loss also leads to poor diet because they can't chew very well. And please excuse me, I have this allergy cough, so I'll probably be coughing and my voice will go in and out a little bit. So CDA Cares is a 2-day, no-cost clinic equipped with 100 treatment chairs. We rent the chairs from a company called MOM, Missions of Mercy, out of Kansas, and they go all over the world and do medical and dental clinics. So I think for us to rent these 100 chairs for the 4 days, they're there a whole day before to set up and a whole day afterwards to tear down, and I think our rental cost is $40,000 to $45,000. So these free clinics cost $450,000 to $500,000 when all is said and done. Our goal is to get at least half that in donations. Donations from the large supply companies, everything that we use. We feed the patients out in line. We take water and sandwiches and fruit, and we feed all the volunteers. Approximately 2,000 people will receive care in these 2 days. We usually look for 900 volunteer dentists. About 350 or 400 dentists are involved, and the rest are dental assistants and hygienists. And we're looking for at least 900 community volunteers. At our last event in October in Stockton, we had a record 2,400, and a lot of those were the community volunteers that came. So sometimes they're waiting around for the equipment to get out of the truck or something, and then we give them something to move, or they escort patients back and forth. We also, community volunteers are very helpful if they are bilingual at all. That's very valuable with the population that we serve. Our objectives for CDA Cares is to eliminate dental pain and infection first, and to help patients understand the importance of good oral health habits in their families. It's kind of hard. We do some dental education, but it's kind of hard when they're worried about where the next meal is going to come. You know, they might be homeless or something, but we do what we can as far as education, and they are very appreciative. Public awareness through the media. We educate the public about good oral health and the importance of prevention. Each clinic generates about 50 media stories, in publications and on TV. We'll get a lot of publicity on Friday with the local TV stations. Come out, here's the details, here's what time you can get out there and line up. Clinic operates on a first come, first served basis. The last goal or objective is to improve our policymakers' understanding of how policy can improve the public's oral health and well-being. For example, back in 2008 or 2009, our legislators decided to remove adult Denti-Cal, and they made some decisions on providing a full denture for patients versus a partial denture. The partial denture, every dentist will tell you, is critical if you can save some teeth because it gives some stability and patients are able to chew better and have a better diet. So services, here's what we offer and do. We do fillings, extractions, dentures. Partial dentures are pretty much what we call stay plates that will have the front teeth. And we do cleanings, oral health education, and oral cancer screenings. We also provide a pediatric service area where the families stay together. So family of 3 kids and mom and dad come and maybe grandma. We keep them all together and they go to the pediatric area. So they are all treated together. The mother, father don't go to the other end of the building and thousands of people in between. They're treated all together. Dr. Wong, I think you had a question.
How many, what's the sort of the demographics in terms of kids versus adults?
I think it's about 20%. It's more adults, but it depends on each location. We can never tell. We do outreach to the communities. Someone I met today said that they had already heard, a place that he works have already heard. We reach out to the schools, all of the community organizations in the area. We provide help for them finding a permanent dental home. This is not a permanent dental home. There will be patients that use this as a source of care. And they may look on there and find where our next one is. So in October this year, we're going down to Bakersfield. We do 2 of these a year. Believe me, it takes every 6 months to between one to the other. We start working 18 to 24 months out on our locations and where we're going and securing. We try to get the best locations and get discounts from the event center, and we get as many donations and discounts as we can so we can help keep our costs as low as possible. So we provide information. We have sheets of all of the local clinics and lists of doctors that will provide low or no cost resources. The impact. Since 2012, we did our first CDA Cares event, 2012 in Modesto, and we've had 10 clinics. This is our 11th in San Mateo. We saw 20,030 patients in those 10, so about 2,003 patients. We did $16.4 million in dental care, and we utilized 16,857. So you can see the volunteers are getting up there close to the patients. We had over 300 sponsors in all. The big dental supply companies, the biggest in the world, Shine, Patterson, they donate. Shine had stepped up and provided $50,000 in dental supplies for us at this event, and there's several other local supply companies. It's far-reaching, the 300. We probably have 75 or 80 sponsors at this, at least 75 or 80 sponsors at this event. So the data to date is, we gather data on the patients when they're there and they're lined outside. I believe that was Fresno. This is 30% data comes from them filling it out. 30% said they're there because they're in pain. 25% of those people in pain said they've had pain for more than a year. Most attendees come from a 50-mile radius, and 86% of them have no insurance. 11% have been to the emergency room, and of that 11%, 35% of them have been to the emergency room 4 times. We reach out to the counties. San Mateo County was able to give us $50,000, so that helps a lot in the clinic expenses and what we're doing. We had Sequoia Healthcare, a number of different organizations give us $5,000, $10,000. Sometimes we have banks. We go to everybody that we can in the community and reach out as far as we can. So funding. I started talking about that a little bit. CDA is committed. The California Dental Association has a membership of 27,000 dentists. It's the largest organization in the United States.
Can I say something here? So all of you go to a dentist, if they are not a member of the California Dental Association, I don't know, John, do you have to join your bar association?
Yes.
You have to?
Yes.
Okay, so dentists do not have to join their dental association. So if you're going to a dentist that is not part of the California Dental Association or the American Dental Association, I would ask them why. Okay?
How do you know, Mike?
And so why would they not?
Because they're cheap. And they don't want to support their own profession. So the CDA does a lot of stuff for dentists, does a lot of stuff for the community, but it's not mandatory that they join.
How do you know? Do they display a plaque?
Well, the ones that are members usually will display it. The
Yes.
ones that aren't usually don't.
And if they are not members of the California Dental Association, they can come and volunteer. So we're not limited to just members. I don't know the total number, I should have checked that, but, you know, there may be 8,000 in the state that are not in our membership. So,
When Mike says cheap, what does it cost to be a member?
I'm not in membership. My guess would be, you know, a couple $100 a month. But there's so many benefits, and instead of trying to tell y'all what that is or have you repeat it to anybody, dentists are required every 2 years to get 50 units of continuing education to stay up in their profession and to be up to date with laws. A big part of that, it is required that they take California law classes as it affects dental offices and dentists. So as a member, you can go to the 2 large conventions we have. One is in Northern California in Moscone Center every fall, and one is in the Anaheim Convention Center down south. So a member dentist basically gets to come to those places for free, see all the vendors. We have 2,000 vendors there. It's a huge convention, but basically they can get their 50 units every 2 years for free. And if they go out and pay for that, they would pay for that weekend of continuing education, maybe $900 or $1,000 if they went someplace. So there's a lot of benefits, and I'm not an expert on that.
Does the association also act as a lobby?
Yes, we have a very strong lobbying firm, and we're proud to say we have a dentist that is now a assemblyman. It's Dr. James Wood from the outside of Sonoma, from that area. I forgot what district it is. But we're over at the Capitol. Our office is a block from the Capitol. We have a very strong lobbying group, and we represent the dentists very well.
On the patient side, so I just want to picture this. Somebody comes in, I understand they're in pain, but if they come in, they need dentures. I noticed you guys do dentures there too?
We do dentures in 2 days, so they come in. It's a certain kind of denture. A lot of the dentures that are made in the private offices are made where you take an impression, you send it to a lab. We have lab techs, a whole big, huge lab area, and you'll see it on this video I'm going to play real quick.
And what about them to follow up?
Follow-up, we have dentists from the local area. We've gone to the San Mateo Dental Society, and we get a group of dentists, oral surgeon, pediatric dentist, and general dentist that will provide any follow-up. We may have about 30 to 40. We've never had more than 20% of people need a follow-up. You know, if something doesn't feel right, I need to check and see if I'm healing right or whatever. But I think it's usually about 1%. We're seeing 2,000. It's never been more than 20. And I think we're usually looking at, 10 or so. But
Do you guys qualify them financially for assistance?
we do not ask for any ID. They can come and not speak English. We have translators walking around with yellow badges that say, I speak Hmong, I speak Russian, I speak Vietnamese, I speak Spanish, or whatever. So there's no papers required. They do have to go through a screening, a medical screening, to make sure that if they have a medical condition, they've taken their medication and their blood pressure is. So we have a medical screening first, then a dental screening or dental triage where we decide. So we're not able to help everybody with their needs, but everybody has at least one procedure done. Depending on the volume and the patients in the line, how many people you have lined up. In Sacramento, a couple of years ago, people started lining up and wanted to spend the night for 3 nights, but the event center wouldn't let them. So a lot of these people wait, 8, 10, 12 hours, and we move them through as fast as we can. You'll get to see that in just a second. So in-kind donations, I talked about for sponsors, corporate dental grants. There's a few grants available for us. Individual donations, thank you very much. You're what we call a chair sponsor. You send in $500, and that amount was defined, the amount of money that we don't get donated, when we divide up what we have to raise in money, in actual cash money, it comes out to about $500 per chair. So we have 100 chairs each day, and we start the morning at 5:30 or 6 with 100 people in the chair. So it's a big operation. That's why we need a lot of community volunteers to help escort the patients and things like that. So local community, those things there. Community outreach. Community outreach, we can assist them in enrollment in Covered California. I know that's changed, and I'm not in our public affairs department, but DentaCal. We reach out to the local community-based organizations to promote clinics for patients as well as volunteers. We reach out to local city council, I said that a little bit earlier, and local arrangements committee. We're comprised of local dentists. So as I said, the local task force committee here in San Mateo, one of the members that's not a dentist, his name is Lee Michelson. He is with Sequoia Healthcare. He came up with an idea on his own that I'll donate a $1,000 gift card and a $500 gift card, and let's sell the raffle tickets. And I think they've made $5,000, over $5,000 so far on selling the $20 raffle tickets. And there's going to be 2 winners of the $1,000 gift card and the $500 gift card. So please give Kat your name if you're interested in buying raffle tickets. So, questions there. I'd like to hold the questions and play the next video, Dr. Wong, which is a 5-minute. Am I okay on time?
Yes.
Okay. This is a 5-minute video of our event that we had in Sacramento in 2015. And then I'll take some questions if there's any. So this is...
You really go fast on that.
I was watching the news. I jumped in the car, drove here like 75 miles an hour, so I'd get over here, and I slept in the grass over there with my dog.
I'm a school portrait photographer, so I'm telling kids to smile all day, and it's hard, I have to smile and show them, and then I'm showing them my teeth, and it's kind of embarrassing. So.
Got Medi-Cal, but they won't pay for caps and partials and stuff like that. It's real frustrating, especially when I'm trying to eat and I'm in pain.
What time did you get here? 6:30 yesterday morning. Oh my goodness. The first 60, so please follow me. Here we go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's the mission of the CDA Foundation to improve the oral health of all Californians and to help our members in that end.
As soon as they enter this building, they see that there's people here that really care. They aren't here because they're getting paid. They're not here because they have to. They're here because they care about other people.
How many times are we supposed to be brushing every day?
Doesn't need, because the state has kind of dropped the ball. I mean, we have a Medi-Cal system that's broken. And patients are not able to get the care they need. We know that people have infection and disease, and it's untreated.
That is you.
It's like I remember her. Yeah, that's the way I feel. Is I remember her. I haven't seen her in a long time. You don't eat right. You don't keep jobs. You don't have a lot of acquaintances because you don't want to meet people because then you'll know you don't have teeth.
They're just so blown away that dentists would come on their weekend, take their time, do this work for free, and actually give them a smile, give them their self-esteem back, give them an opportunity to get a job. How do you like them?
I like them. People look at me different now because I have teeth. They won't look at me like a bum or something. I just graduated last Wednesday from Women's Empowerment. That's a job readiness. So I know that I'm going to do something great. And I'm very thankful to Dr. Scott. I will never forget him.
I just love making people happy, and I love helping people to have a better life.
CDA Cares is more than just a number of patients we see. It's really the moments that all kind of come together, kind of collage of all these little special moments where we're looking in their eyes and we know that they made a difference.
I think CDA Cares is important for many reasons. One of the reasons, though, is to shine a light about this problem and let our legislators come and see that there really are people that lives are being affected by their poor oral health. Unfortunately, the greatest need is the dental extractions that we're doing here in Sacramento. Because of the underfunded Denti-Cal program, there's not access for people to go in and get routine cleanings and the education we need to know how to save their teeth.
Just like to thank the CDA. It's one thing for us to donate and volunteer, which we enjoy, but if they weren't, the driving force behind this, a lot of these patients wouldn't have access to the care.
I have never had my cleaning before. It was pretty good, yeah. It was kind of painful, but I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you for your fantastic service. It was awesome.
I want to say thank you to everybody that volunteers. You guys don't know what you do for people. You really don't. Or maybe you do. That's why you're here. Thank you.
If you open up this avenue in your heart and with your profession, you will find that it's rewarding beyond belief.
There's a reason I'm involved in the California Dental Association Foundation. We give back because we're really affecting lives, and I think that's part of our purpose here.
The slogan is, it's the best thing we do. That's true, it really is.
Thank you. So I'm here today to tell you what needs we have left for CDA. I know I get a little tearful every time I see it, and having been there with her, and the patients there are so grateful and appreciative of you. It is very rewarding. So we still need community volunteers. If you happen to see your dentist or talk to them, as Dr. Long was saying, we still need some dentists and dental assistants. Anybody bilingual, community person that would escort or whatever, and community volunteers to help us with food preparation. We feed these 1,800, 1,900 volunteers. And so we've gotten a lot of donations. Right now, our breakfasts are a little bit shy, so we were going to make an outreach to you all to see if you know anybody that has one of those barbecue pits that comes in. We're looking for maybe a pancake breakfast either Saturday or Sunday morning. And we've got a gentleman that's able to barbecue some hamburgers and chicken. And we've got donations from Old Spaghetti Factory, lots of different restaurants that our local communities work really hard to get donations. But we feed 500 or 600 people at a time. And to go into a small restaurant and ask for, so they can give us a donation to feed 100 possibly. It's hard to get enough from one source. So those really are our needs there, and selling the raffle tickets. The flyer does tell details, about the community volunteers. And what other questions do we have? Thank you so much for having me.
When a person first comes in, are they assigned like a number, and then their computer tracked as they go through?
They also fill out a chart, so we have with their information, but we don't check that they have identification or anything, but they do fill out a chart so we can reach them. And if we need to afterwards. And that chart follows them. And those are patient escorts. We don't give the patients their own chart. So from the minute they come in, they fill out a chart, and then they go to patient education and then to medical triage. They make recordings of their medical condition. They have diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever it might be. What medications are they taking? They verify that. Then they go to dental, and then they go over to x-ray, where they have x-rays, or then they go over to routing. So everyone tells me it's very well organized. We behind the scene feel a little chaotic at times, but people always say it's so organized. And I believe one of the reasons it's so organized is due to all the community volunteers. So it's that calmness that the community volunteers bring to there. And they might be standing, for example, we have rows in each section. So the medical triage section has a row, and X-ray will have a row, and they just go around like this. So the community volunteers will keep them moving and not hold up the line. And that, it's just really important, and it establishes calmness with that. But I think there was one other question back here.
I suggest you contact, and I have the name and number for you, the Foster City Rotary.
Okay.
They meet at that hotel.
Okay.
They have they're known as the Rotarians that cook.
Okay.
They have a set of grills and things, and they're very mobile after their cooking.
Okay,
They
great.
might even get them to volunteer to do it.
Thank you.
And then I run the ambassador program, the volunteer ambassador program for the San Mateo Chamber of Commerce. And so I will try to get you 11 volunteers for at least 4 hours.
Sure, thank you.
Saturday or Sunday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think my time is up, so I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards.
The last thing is, for volunteers, you don't have to have any experience in dentistry or anything, because they just need people to help out, so.
And we do have the registration, CDACares.com. It'll say volunteer. It'll choose San Mateo and Bakersfield are there. If you click volunteer, we only have one open at a time, which it would go right to the San Mateo. But please come and encourage anybody. My daughter came 2 years ago, and she was a community college student. She's at Sac State now, and they were had a speech class. And so they chose to come to this community event, and they got up and they got to wear their volunteer shirts, and the 5 of them in her group gave a speech about the CDA Cares and what they experienced there. We started them, they went out and took waters, bananas, fruit, peanut butter jelly sandwich to the people that had been waiting in line. And then when they came in, I put them over escorting, patients and staying with the patient. Patient has to go to the restroom, they're always escorted, so, and then translators. So it's set up really well with different colors. We're organized. Dentists have black t-shirts on. Gray t-shirts are community volunteers. Yellow t-shirts, or a dentist that could translate has a yellow name tag, bright yellow, or the yellow t-shirt. So when you look around the room, someone asks you a question and they don't speak English, you look around for yellow t-shirts. So it really is pretty organized. There's nothing like it to be able to see 2,000 patients in the 2 days we're there. So thank you very much.